Can you make the video bigger so we can see what our faces look like?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I don't know if anyone's actually watching this. Yeah, this is...
Are we live now?
Yeah, we're doing it now.
Oh my god. It's live.
It's live. Let me just switch to... I've never done things this way before, so I apologize. If anyone's watching this, right now 0 are watching this. But
good.
for the people who eventually watch this, because I'm recording it and I'm going to post it to YouTube.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm really throwing this at M at the last minute. I didn't really say what was gonna happen. Hang on. The idea that this is not actually I'm noticing on Twitch that it says that this is a Mozilla engineer hacking on Firefox. I'm going to change the title real quick.
Ruh-roh.
2 people read The Count of Monte Cristo.
2 nerds with 0 voiceover experience-ish.
So I'm going to update that. I'm going to get rid of some of these tags. I'm going to get rid of the software development. I'm just going to say English educational. Done. Okay, so I've updated the tags. So hopefully people find this and they find it interesting. So The Count of Monte Cristo. I've never read it. Have you ever read it?
No, although I think I've seen the Wishbone episode.
The Wishbone episode.
Something in France, classic lit. That's all I know.
All right, you know as much as I do then. I think I heard it mentioned once in a movie, the Shawshank Redemption.
Oh.
I think in one scene they talk about how it's about a prison break, but
really? The Count of Monte Cristo.
I think so. I don't know. I that's what I remember from the movie. I don't know what it's about. Let's see what happens. Let's just dig into this. So The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. It's French.
Very good.
With nearly 500 illustrations from designs by G. Stahl in 5 volumes. So there's no way we're getting through all of this today.
No.
Not at all. We're going to do a couple chapters.
Oh my god.
We're going to do some voices. We'll probably take pauses and discuss what we've read so far.
Yeah.
And if that's not your bag, if you're looking for a straight audiobook read through,
no, that's
not what's happening.
We'll probably do live marginalia chatter.
Yeah. That's because this is normally what we read to each other often like this. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to be passing it back and forth.
Yeah.
So if that's not what you're into, sorry. But if it is what you're into, stick around because you might enjoy it. So, Count of Monte Cristo. First panel, this first image, it looks like a body's being thrown over a off the edge of a bridge or something. I don't know.
And he's got
rampart.
A ball and chain wrapped around his legs.
Yeah, this guy's definitely sleeping with the fishes.
He's either dead or he will be.
Yeah. If he's sleeping, he's in for a rough wake up. And over here, my name is Edmond Dantes or Dantes. I can't see which way that accent is.
Is it an accent grave?
I can't zoom into the image very well. Here, it's grave. Yeah, accent grave.
Dante? Weird.
Dante. Okay.
Right. I hate it. Okay.
Volume 1, Chapter 1, Marseille, The Arrival. Do you want to start or shall I start?
No, you go for it.
Okay. Chapter 1, Marseille, The Arrival. On the 24th of February, 1815, the lookout at Notre Dame de la Garde signaled the 3-master, the Pharaon, from Smyrna, Trieste, and Naples. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
As usual, a pilot put off immediately, and rounding the Chateau d'If, got on board the vessel between Cape Morgiou and Rion Island. I think we're talking about boats here.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, and according to custom, the ramparts of Fort Saint-Jean were covered with spectators. It is always an event at Marseille for a ship to come into port, especially when this ship, like the Pharaon, has been built, rigged, and laden at the old Fosse docks and belongs to an owner of the city. The ship drew on and had safely passed the strait, which some volcanic shock has made between the Calasaran and Jaros?
Good question.
Islands. Had doubled Pomègue. I'm going to butcher a lot of... Pomègue?
I think the hardest part about this is the pronunciation.
The pronunciation is going to be brutal.
Pomègue.
And approached the harbor under topsails, jib, and spanker, but so slowly and sedately that the idlers, with that instinct which is the forerunner of evil, asked one another what misfortune could have happened on board. However, those experienced in navigation saw plainly that if any accident had occurred, it was not to the vessel herself, for she bore down with all the evidence of being skillfully handled. The anchor a cockbill, the jib boom guys already eased off, and standing by the side of the pilot, who was steering the Pharaon towards the narrow entrance of the inner port, was a young man who, with activity and vigilant eye, watched every motion of the ship and repeated each direction of the pilot.
That was like one sentence.
So this is like the Baroque style, like very descriptive.
Oh yeah.
Very
just keep it going. Keep that
going.
sentence
This is
rolling.
Charles Dickens style.
I want to know what a jib boom guy is. Is that like a guy with a boom mic, but he's like got it,
Jib boom
he
guys.
cuts a good jib. Like I don't know.
They'd already eased off.
I don't know what that
Good
is.
question. It's a lot of boat stuff. So here's what I've gotten so far from this paragraph. We're in Marseille, and a boat comes in, and everyone's like, "What is up with this boat?" But it looks like it's competently being like manned. So
Yeah, and some dude is watching it.
someone's watching it. Okay.
Okay, cool.
The vague disquietude which prevailed among the spectators had so much affected one of the crowd that he did not await the arrival of the vessel in harbor, but jumping into a small skiff, desired to be pulled alongside the Pharaon, which he reached as she rounded the La Reserve basin. Okay. When the young man on board saw this person approach, he left his station by the pilot and, hat in hand, leaned over the ship's bulwarks. He was a fine, tall, slim young fellow of 18 or 20, with black eyes and hair as dark as a raven's wing, and his whole appearance bespoke that calmness and resolution peculiar to men accustomed from their cradle to contend with danger.
French?
You want French accents? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the person from the skiff. I'm gonna make the man from the skiff a little older. "Ah, is it you, Dante?" cried the man in the skiff. "What's the matter?" And French. Bonjour. Oh no.
What's the matter?
What's the matter? And why have you such an air of sadness aboard? Okay, you want to be the young man?
Oh, are we doing this duet style? No,
Or
no,
you know,
go for it.
I'll do this section. Okay.
Straight narration.
What's the matter? And why have you such an air of sadness aboard? "A great misfortune, Monsieur Morel,"
He's young.
replied the young. Oh, it's a young man. "A great misfortune, Monsieur Morel," replied the young man. "A great misfortune for me especially. Off Civitavecchia, we lost our brave Captain Leclerc." The owner. I guess the man in the skiff is the owner. "And the cargo?" inquired the owner eagerly. "Is all safe, Monsieur Morel, and I think you will be satisfied on that head. But poor Captain Leclerc—" "What happened to him?" asked the owner, with an air of considerable resignation. "What happened to the worthy captain?" "He died." "Fell into the sea?" "No, sir, he died of brain fever and dreadful agony."
That's horrible.
Then, turning to the crew, he said, "Bear a hand there, to take in sail." All hands obeyed, and at once the 8 or 10 seamen who composed the crew sprang to their respective stations at the spanker brails and outhaul, topsail sheets and halyards, the jib downhaul, and the topsail clewlines and buntlines. Alexandre Dumas is really showing off what he knows about boats.
Yeah, he did a lot of boat research. He's like, I'm gonna include this word and this word.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, just
A lot of detail there for the boat people. The young sailor gave a look to see that his orders were promptly and accurately obeyed, and then turned again to the owner. "And how does this misfortune occur?" inquired the latter, resuming the interrupted conversation. Why don't you take it from here?
all right. Alas, sir, in the most unexpected manner. After a long talk with the harbour master, Captain Leclerc left Naples greatly disturbed in mind. In 24 hours, he was attacked by a fever and died 3 days afterwards. We performed the usual burial service, and he is at his rest, sewn up in his hammock with a 36-pound shot at his head and his heels, off El Giglio Island. So that must be the guy in the picture.
And I guess they buried him with a weapon.
Yeah, cannon shot. Okay. We bring to his widow his sword and cross of honor. It was worthwhile, truly, added the young man with a melancholy smile. And by the way, apologies for Garbo French accent.
Yeah. From both of us.
To make war against the English for 10 years and to die in his bed at last, like everybody else. "Why, you see, Edmund," replied the owner, who appeared more comforted at every moment, "we are all mortal, and the old must make way for the young. If not, why, there would be no promotion. And since you assure me that the cargo is all safe and sound, Monsieur Morel, take my word for it. And I advise you not to take 25,000 francs for the profit of the voyage. Then, as they were just passing the round tower, the young man shouted, "Stand by there to lower the topsails and jib! Brail up the spanker!"
What?
This is taking a turn. The order was executed as promptly as it would have been on board a man of war. "Let go and clew up!" At this last command, all the sails were lowered, and the vessel moved almost imperceptibly onwards. Who's Dantes? Is he the young guy?
Okay, let's see here. Let's pause and try and review, because we've got Mr. Morel, who Monsieur Morel is
He's
the owner
and the older guy.
The older guy who's like in this little skiff that went out to this boat.
Yeah.
Dant, and I think his name might be Edmond Dant. Yeah, this is the all right. So this is the picture of the person that is the young man who's on the boat. His name is Edmond Dant. He's on the boat.
Got a snappy goatee.
Snappy goatee. He's very stylish.
But the beard is not really like he needs to fill it.
A little wispy. And Mr. Morel is in the skiff, and he's the owner. And the captain died.
Right. And he's mortal like
after fever.
Everybody else.
Okay.
This is terrible, guys.
So far, pretty tragic.
During the corona, this is like...
Yeah, I didn't expect this to be so topical.
I know. Okay. Alright, and now we're setting sail?
Yeah, I think so. Or wait, no, we just came in, didn't we?
Well, we just came in, but now...
It's like, where's the cargo? That's what they're asking for. Like, Mr. Morel's like, how's the cargo?
So maybe they're moving it closer to, like, they're going to officially dock it? Maybe we haven't...
And unload the cargo. Yeah, it'll probably
okay.
take a while.
Okay. Now, if you will come aboard, Monsieur Morel, said Dant. Dant? All right.
Let's say Dant.
Let's go with it. We'll look it up later. Observing the owner's impatience, "Here is your supercargo, Monsieur Danglars," coming out of his cabin. Oh,
so there's a person, Monsieur Danglars, who is the supercargo.
Oh, got it. "Here is your supercargo, Monsieur Danglars, coming out of his cabin, who will furnish you with every particular. As for me, I must look after the anchoring and rest the ship in mourning." The owner did not wait for a second invitation. He seized a rope which Dant flung to him, and with an activity that would have done credit to a sailor, climbed up the side of the ship, while the young man, going to his task, left the conversation to Danglars, who now came towards the owner. He was a man of 25 or 26 years of age, of unprepossessing countenance, obsequious to his superiors, insolent to his subordinates, and this, in addition to his position as responsible agent on board, which is always obnoxious to the sailors, made him as much disliked by the crew as Edmond Dant was beloved by them. Okay, so Danglars sucks.
He's like the man.
Dant is
on the
great.
boat. Dant is great. Danglars is like, he's the party pooper, because he represents the owner, I guess.
Got it. Go for it.
Oh, I'm taking over? Okay. Danglars, what's he going to be like?
He sucks.
He sucks, but he's a man of 25 or 26 years of age. So I'm going to make him...
a bro.
A bro?
Or no.
I was going to make him kind of like, yeah. like kind of like... Well, Monsieur Morel, said Danglars, you have heard of the misfortune that has befallen us? Nah. And then the old man, yes, poor Captain Leclerc. He was a brave and an honest man. And a first-rate seaman, one who has seen long and honorable service, as became a man charged with the interests of a house so important as that of Morel and Son, replied Danglars. But, replied the owner, glancing after Dant, who was watching the anchoring of his vessel, it seems to me that a sailor needs not be so old as you say, Danglars, to understand his business, for our friend Edmond seems to understand it thoroughly, and not to require instruction from anyone. Yes, said Danglars, darting at Edmond, a look gleaming with hate. Ooh, I think they don't like each other. Yes, he is young, and youth is invariably self-confident. Scarcely was the captain's breath out of his body when he assumed the command without consulting anyone, and he caused us to lose a day and a half at the island of Elba, instead of making for Marseille direct. Okay, so, It sounds like there's a little bit of bad blood between Danglars and Edmond Dant.
Yeah, but maybe Danglars is just
Might be just a bit of a dick.
being a little bit of a dick.
Okay, so this is the boat. This is the the Pharaon. I've been saying Pharaon, but I think it's a Pharaon or Pharaon. 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 Okay, and this is the little skiff. Okay. Let's see here. So, do you want to take over, or shall I keep going? Shall I keep?
It's up to you.
Okay, I'll keep going for a bit. Maybe we'll hand off halfway through.
Okay.
As to taking command of the vessel, replied Morel, that was his duty as captain's mate. As to losing a day and a half off the island of Elba, he was wrong, unless the vessel needed repair. The vessel was in as good condition as I am, and as I hope you are, Monsieur Morel, and this day and a half was lost from pure whim, for the pleasure of going ashore and nothing else. Don't, so the ship owner, that's Morel. Don't, said the ship owner, turning towards the young man. Come this way. In a moment, sir, answered Dant. And I'm with you. Then calling to the crew, he said, Let's go, or let go. The anchor was instantly dropped, and the chain ran rattling through the porthole. Dant continued at his post in spite of the presence of the pilot until this maneuver was completed, and then he added, Half-mast the colors, and square the yards. You see, said Danglars, he fancies himself captain already, upon my word. And so, in fact, the owner. And so, in fact, he is, said the owner. Except your signature and your partner's, Monsieur Morel. And why should he not have this? Asked the owner. He is young, it is true, but he seems to me a thorough seaman and of full
I
experience.
feel like these are all variations of Lumiere.
Lumiere, it's Lumiere. We're both doing really bad impressions of Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
A cloud passed over Danglars' brow. Your pardon, Monsieur Morel, said Dant, approaching. The vessel now rides at anchor, and I am at your service. You hailed me, I think? Danglars retreated a step or two. So this is Morel speaking, I think. I wish to inquire why you stopped at the island of Elba. I do not know, sir. It was to fulfill the last instructions of Captain Leclerc, who, when dying, gave me a packet for Marshal Bertrand. Then did you see him, Edmond? Who? The Marshal. Yes. Morel looked around him, and then, drawing Dant on one side, he said suddenly, And how is the Emperor? Very well, as far as I could judge from the sight of him. You saw the Emperor, then? He entered the Marshal's apartment while I was there. And you spoke to him? Why, it was he who spoke to me, sir, said Dant with a smile.
So charming.
Very charming. And what did he say to you? Why don't you take it from here?
Asked me questions about the vessel, the time she left Marseille, the course she had taken, and what was her cargo. I believe if she had not been laden and I had been her master, he would have bought her. But I told him I was only mate, and that she belonged to the firm of Morel and Son. Yes, he said, I know them. The Morels have been ship owners from father to son, and there was a Morel who served in the same regiment with me when I was in garrison at Valence. Pardieu! He's literally, by God! Pardieu! And that is true! Cried the owner, greatly delighted. And that was Polycœur Morel, my uncle, who was afterwards a captain. Don't, you must tell my uncle that the Emperor remembered him, and you will see it will bring tears into the old soldier's eyes. Come, continued he, patting Edmund's shoulder kindly. You did very right, Dant, to follow Captain Leclerc's instructions and touch at Elba, although if it were known that you had conveyed a packet to the Marshal and had conversed with the Emperor, it might bring you into trouble.
So, like, suck it, what's his name?
Danglars.
Danglars? Yeah, this was totally legit. That stop off at the island?
It was for sure legit.
I think, this is Danglars in the back. He looks pissed.
Just being a little bitch.
Yeah, just like kind of hanging out back there, being just a little smarmy little a-hole. All right. Keep going.
Yeah, there's a lot of dialogue.
There's a ton of dialogue.
There's a lot of dialogue.
We're gonna be butchering French
I
accents
think
for the most part.
I think doing committing to the French was maybe not ideal, but
We'll see what we can do.
we'll see it through
for at least this.
Okay.
How I'm curious how long we are until the next chapter. We got 2 more sections,
Yeah.
and then maybe we'll call it there, or
Yeah.
we can do another one. We'll see. We'll
can
see
make
how
it.
we feel.
Okay.
All right.
I'll do a half.
Sure.
How could that bring me into trouble, sir? Asked Dante. For I did not even know of what I was the bearer, and the Emperor merely made such inquiries as he would of the first comer. I don't know what that means. Oh,
Yeah.
like the first. Okay.
Right.
But pardon me, here are the health officers and the customs inspectors coming alongside. And the young man went to the gangway. As he departed, Danglars approached and said, "I suck, I'm a jerk." He said, "Well, it appears that he has given you satisfactory reasons for his landing at Porto Ferrajo." "Yes, most satisfactory, my dear Danglars." "Well, so much the better," said the supercargo. "For it is not pleasant to think that the comrade has not done his duty." "Dante has done his." "That's hard," replied the owner. "And that is not saying much. It was Captain Leclerc who gave orders for this delay." "Talking of Captain Leclerc, has not Dante given you a letter from him?" "To me? No. Was there one?" "I believe that besides the packet, Captain Leclerc confided a letter to his care." "Of what packet are you speaking, Danglars?" "Why, that which Dante left at Porto Ferrajo. Ferrajo, I think this is Spanish.
Okay.
Porto Ferrajo." "How do you know he had a packet to leave at Porto Ferrajo?" Danglars turned very red. "I was passing close to the door of the captain's cabin, which was half open, and I saw him give the packet and letter to Dante." Tell you.
Okay. "He did not speak to me of it," replied the ship owner. "But if there be any letter, he will give it to me." Danglars reflected for a moment. "Then, Mr. Morel, I beg of you," said he, "not to say a word to Dante on the subject. I may have been mistaken." At this moment, the young man returned. Danglars withdrew. Ooh, there's a lot of manipulation going on here. "Well, my dear Dante, are you now free?" inquired the owner. "Yes, sir." "You have not been long detained?" "No, I gave the custom house officers a copy of our bill of lading, and as to the other papers, they sent a man off with the pilot, to whom I gave them." "Then you have nothing more to do here?" "No, everything is all right now." Hey, okay.
Is he Mario now?
Yeah. Hey!
No, everything is
Everything is okay. Then you can come and dine with me? "I really must ask you to excuse me, Monsieur Morel. My first visit is due to my father, though I am not the less grateful for the honor you have done me."
No, he's so nice.
Yeah, he's a nice dude. Oh, we're going to meet someone named Mercedes later.
Mercedes.
I don't know who this is, but we're going to meet her later. "Right, Dante, quite right. I always knew you were a good son." "And," inquired Dante with some hesitation, "do you know how my father is?"
Oh, I read ahead and thought it said, "Do you know who
Who
my father is?"
Also, inquired Dante,
Also.
"Do you know who my father is?"
"Do you know who my father is?"
By the way. Okay. Well, I believe, my dear Edmond, though I have not... I believe, my dear Edmond, though I have not seen him lately. "Yes, he likes to keep himself shut up in his little room." "That proves at least that he has wanted for nothing during your absence." Dante smiled. My father is proud, sir, and if he had not a meal left..." I think I'm really brutalizing this accent. "My father is proud, sir, and if he had not a meal left, I doubt if he would have asked anything from anyone, except from heaven." "Well then, after this first visit has been made, we shall count on you." "I must again excuse myself, Monsieur Morel, for after this first visit has been paid, I have another which I am most anxious to pay." "True, Dante, I forgot that there was at the Catalan someone who expects you no less impatiently than your father, the lovely Mercedes." Dante blushed. Aha, said the shipowner. I am not in the least surprised, for she has been to me 3 times, inquiring if there were any news of the Pharaon. Best! Edmund, you have a very handsome mistress.
Good lord. What a meddling dude.
Yeah. She is not my mistress, replied the young sailor gravely. Oh, gravely. She is not my mistress, replied the young sailor gravely.
She's dead.
She
No.
is my betrothed. Sometimes one and the same thing, said Morel with a smile.
Totally Lumiere.
Not with us, sir, replied Dante. Well, well, my dear Edmund, continued the owner, don't let me detain you. You have managed my affairs so well that I ought to allow you all the time you require for your own. Do you want any money? No, sir. I have all my money to take, nearly 3 months' wages. You are a careful fellow, Edmund. Say I have a poor father, sir. Yes, I know how good a son you are, so now hasten away to see your father. I have a son too, and I should be very wroth with those who detained him from me after a 3 months' voyage. Then I have your leave, sir? Yes, if you have nothing more to say to me. Nothing. Why don't you take us home?
I'll do a little bit more. Also, I love how you need the gestures.
I need the gestures!
Where are we?
J'ai besoin le gesture!
J'ai besoin de...
De gesture!
de.
Day?
Where are we? Okay. Yes, if you have nothing more to say to me. Nothing. Captain Leclerc did not, before he died, give you a letter for me. He was unable to write, sir. But that reminds me that I must ask your leave of absence for some days. To get married? Yes, first, and then to go to Paris. Very good. Have what time you require, Dante. It will take quite 6 weeks to unload the cargo, and we cannot get you ready for sea until 3 months after that. Only be back again in 3 months for the Pharaon, added the owner, patting the young sailor on the back.
6 weeks to unload the cargo. That's crazy.
I mean, do they have like one guy doing it? Okay.
They only have one rope.
One rope.
One rope, one person. Yeah.
For the Pharaon cannot sail without her captain. Without her captain? Cried Dante, his eyes sparkling with animation. Pray mind what you say, for you are touching on the most secret wishes of my heart. He was not this excited talking about his betrothed. I just must say...
my Mercedes, I've not seen her for 3 months, but whatever. Captain, a promotion.
Oh my God. Is it really your intention to make me the captain of the Pharaon? If I were sole owner, we'd shake hands on it now, my dear Dante, and call it settled. But I have a partner, and you know the Italian proverb. Oh God.
So Italian with a French accent. Hit it.
Chi ha compagno ha padrone. I did my best. He who has a partner has a master. But the thing is at least half done, as you have 1 out of 2 votes. Rely on me to procure you the other. I will do my best. Ah, Monsieur Morel, exclaimed the young seaman, with tears in his eyes, grasping the owner's hand. Monsieur Morel, I thank you in the name of my father and of Mercedes. Nope, I'm changing accents.
Yeah.
That's all right, Edmund. There's a providence that watches over the deserving. Go to your father. Go and see Mercedes. I can't, I'm losing it. And afterwards, come to me. Shall I row you ashore? No, thank you. I shall remain and look over the accounts with Danglars. Have you been satisfied with him this voyage? Table's turning now.
Mm-hmm.
That is according to the sense you attach to the question, sir. Do you mean he is a good comrade? No. Brutal.
No.
I think he never liked me from since the day when I was silly enough, after a little quarrel we had, to propose to him to stop for 10 minutes at the island of Monte Cristo to settle the dispute, a proposition which I was wrong to suggest and he was quite right to refuse. If you mean as responsible agent when you ask me the question, I believe there is nothing to say against him, and that you'll be content with the way in which he performs his duty. But tell me, Dante, if you had command of the Pharaon, should you be glad to see Danglars remain? Captain or mate, Monsieur Morel, I shall always have the greatest respect for those who possess the owner's confidence. Wow, such a diplomat.
Yeah. I think he really wants to secure that promotion.
He wants it badly, yeah. That's right, Dante. I see you are a thoroughly good fellow and will detain you no longer.
Promotion obtained.
Go, for I see how impatient you are. Then I have leave? Oh my god, dude, like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Go, I tell you. May I have the use of your skiff? Certainly.
Are they standing? Where are they? No, they're on the ship. They're on the Pharaon right now.
Yeah, okay.
I thought maybe they were standing on the skiff still having this
time.
conversation. No, they're on the boat. They're on the Pharaon. Okay.
Certainly. Then, for the present, Monsieur Morel, farewell, and 1,000 thanks. I hope soon to see you again, my dear Edmund. Good luck to you. I'll do one paragraph.
Sure.
Okay. The young sailor jumped into the skiff and sat down in the stern sheets with the order that he be put ashore at La Canebière. The two oarsmen bent to their work, and the little boat glided away as rapidly as possible in the midst of the 1,000 vessels which choke up the narrow way which leads between the two rows of ships from the mouth of the harbor to the
Quai d'Orléans.
Go.
Okay. The ship owner, smiling, followed him with his eyes until he saw him spring out on the quay and disappear in the midst of the throng, which from 5 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night swarms in the famous street of La Canebière, a street of which the modern Phocéans are so proud that they say with all the gravity in the world and with that accent which gives so much character to what is said. What? Okay, what's a Phocéan accent?
I don't know.
But they've really set us up. Like we gotta have a really
just go for it.
Gotta have a chef's kiss accent here. If Paris had La Canebière, Paris would be a second Marseille.
Good job.
Thank you. On turning around, the owner saw Danglars behind him, apparently awaiting orders, but in reality also watching the young sailor. But there was a great difference in the expression of the two men who thus followed the movements of Edmond Dante.
He's gonna get murked.
Okay, so I think we're gonna stop there. But what have we learned? How did we do? So we got this boat. The what's it called? The Pharaon.
The
Pharaon.
Yeah.
Okay, boat comes in. Captain's dead. First mate's the one running this thing because the captain died of fever like somewhere in the beginning of the voyage.
Yeah.
And the owner of the boat, I guess he's a partner of this trading company. They're doing trading. That's what this boat is, a cargo ship. Yeah. The owner of or partner in this trading company goes out in this little skiff with presumably some people to row. Mm-hmm. And he gets onto the boat and he says to the guy on board, like, what happened? Where's the captain? And the kid on board's like, who was the first mate, said, captain died of fever. I'm the captain now, but
I'm the captain.
I'm the captain now. I'm the guy. But everything's fine. Your cargo's fine. And then the trader, like I guess the supercargo, who I guess is like the agent of the owner, because like maybe the people on the ship are maybe subcontractors or something, or like they hire the boat.
Well, does supercargo mean that he looks after? Yeah, he looks after the cargo on behalf.
Probably he's probably got like the keys or something, or like he's got like a wax seal or something to like really kind of be the official person.
He's obviously pretty jelly of the young guy.
And for some reason, he definitely disagrees with a bunch of stuff that happened. And so there are two key things that happened. 2 stops along the way from wherever they were coming from. I don't even know where they were coming from. Do you know where they were coming from?
No, I don't remember.
I don't know if it was mentioned. But they stopped at the island of Elba, and they wanted to stop at the island of Monte Cristo, but they didn't. But the first stop, the second mate, after the captain died, and the first mate, became captain, he was like, I want to stop at Monte Cristo. Mm-hmm. And Danglars is like, hell no. And then they have like a little bit of a tussle. Then Don's like, all right. And then, but the captain had this wish. The captain was like dying breath. He goes, you gotta stop at the island of Elba. Or what's it called?
Yeah, it was the island of Elba.
The island of Elba, and
Something about...
you gotta see...
Danglars like, there's a letter.
There's a letter... Right. Hang on. What happened? Where's the part where he talks about the emperor?
Oh, that's right. He went to the emperor and he was like, oh yeah, the Morels and stuff, and I knew his uncle or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Monsieur Morel is like...
It was a packet for Marshal Bertrand. I don't know who that is. But there's someone named Marshal Bertrand. Maybe that's not their name, maybe that's their rank. It sounds like Captain Bertrand.
Yeah,
but like
yeah,
Marshal
yeah.
Bertrand, the marshal on the island of Elba.
Right, and except giving the package, or the packet, to the marshal
and
might
then,
get him in trouble. Might get Dante in trouble.
for some reason.
Which has got to be Dante, but I don't know why there's an X on Graf. Dante.
And then there's an emperor of the island of Elba as well. He entered the marshal's apartment while I was there, so like the emperor will just kind of like crash into someone's apartment, be like, "Hey, I'm the emperor. You can't arrest me for
like
trespassing."
Kool-Aid Man.
Kool-Aid Man, like, what's going on? And then they spoke, and then he had questions about the ship. Oh, they left Marseille. So they're traveling from Marseille. Maybe it's a round trip. Left Marseille and they're coming back now to Marseille.
That makes sense.
That's what's going on.
Right.
Of course she had taken what was her cargo. Because I think that's where we are. We're outside Marseille, right?
We're arriving at Marseille.
We're arriving at Marseille.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we did come from Marseille, you're right.
Now there's one more element, which is this letter.
Pardieu.
There's this one more element, which is this letter. So
yeah.
Dante had a letter.
Yeah.
Talking Captain Clark, has Dante given you a letter from him? To me? No. Was there one? Why? So the owner thinks that Captain Leclerc would have given Dante a letter. And Danglars, the owner expects Dante to have given the letter that he inherited from the captain to Danglars.
Yeah.
And the owner's like, did he do it? And Danglars is like, no. And what about the packet? Well, what packet are you talking about? How do you know about this packet?
Oh yeah, and that's right. And Danglars like, I wasn't listening.
Oh wait, no, hold on a second. Danglars knew about the packet.
Yeah, but only because he was eavesdropping.
But he was eavesdropping. Right. So, and other pieces of information are Dante has a fiancé.
But he's like, yeah, I don't know.
But we're getting married.
And the
Seems
owner's
pretty lukewarm.
like, oh, sometimes your mistress and your fiancé are the same person. And he's like,
it's
nah,
not like that.
It's not
like that. This is arranged. It's like, we're just getting it over with.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Mercedes. This is what she looks like. And then he's going to go see his dad because he's been away for 3 months. This voyage has taken 3 months. So I think that is the summary of what just happened in this chapter.
And then he might become captain. Or he will become
captain. Yeah, he's fishing for a promotion.
Well, the owner is like, I'm gonna give you a promotion.
Because, you did a good job, I guess, and, well, the other captain's dead, so I'm out of captain. Time to promote someone. There's been an opening.
Yes.
There's an opening.
And then apparently the accent of the Phocéans
is, super impressive.
Yeah, it's really strong, really impressive.
Now,
ooh, some good photos coming up.
I know. I'm tempted to stop here, but I'm also tempted to keep going because there are 4 people watching.
Oh no! I'm sorry, 4 people. This is terrible. All
yeah,
right.
I'm sorry about our accents. Do you want to just keep going one more chapter? Just try it?
Yeah, it looks like a short one.
Okay, we're going to try one more chapter. We're going to be posting the recording of this to YouTube, so if you decide you want to dip in or dip out and then catch up, I think what we're going to do is we're going to read the chapter, we're going to be interrupting through it, but at the very end then we'll do a sort of a summary of the chapter.
Like a 5-second summary.
Yeah, not as long as I think we just did. Well, who knows, maybe. It depends on what happens in the chapter. We'll see.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of content.
The language makes it
Yeah, there's a lot going on. And we're not even talking about subtext or anything. I have a feeling there was a bunch of subtext there between Danglars and Dante. They hate each other.
And Danglars maybe sent some murderers after Dante at the end. He sent a couple sketchy guys after.
Whoa, I did not catch that. Where? He
was like, the expression of the 2 men who thus followed the movements.
Oh, no, I think we're talking about the two men in this case are Danglars and the owner.
Oh, who
and
are
it's
watching him with two different
Two different expressions. The owner's probably like, my future captain. And Danglars like, I hate you, guy.
Okay.
Like, that's what I think is the two expressions. I don't think they've sent...
I think you're right.
That would be really cool if he sent, like, some
should've.
conspiracy. Like, that would really sort of ratchet up the intensity here. The thrill.
Just bring it up.
But this was written back in... When was this written?
I'm going to say
1888.
Oh, bam.
Okay, chapter 2, Father and Son. Here we go.
Start because it's exposition.
Yeah, do it. And, all right, as soon as we hit accents, I'll switch over.
Right.
Or do you want to bow out of the accents at this point? Or you know what we'll do? We're not going to make promises. We might transition in and out of accents. We're gonna do our best.
We'll just try something.
If we decide that the accents really aren't working, we're just gonna like punt and switch over to like no accents. But
might be too rough. Yeah.
we'll just follow our guts here. But we'll make it explicit when it happens. All right, go ahead, Em. Take us away.
All right, chapter 2, Father and Son.
Father and Son.
Father and Son. We will leave Danglars struggling with the demon of hatred.
Who's we? Whoa, who's...
I know, royal we? Like, are we suddenly... We're in on this?
Yeah, is there, like... Is this written in third or in first?
Definitely did not think it was, yeah. It's like I think it's like a limited third.
Okay.
Yeah, weird.
Take it away.
Okay. We will leave Danglars struggling with the demon of hatred and endeavoring to insinuate in the ear of the ship owner some evil suspicions against his comrade, and follow Dante, who, after having traversed La Canebière, took the Rue de Noé, and entering a small house on the left of the Allée de Meilhan, rapidly ascended 4 flights of a dark staircase, holding the baluster with one hand, while with the other he repressed the beatings of his heart and paused before a half-open door from which he could see the whole of a small room. This room was occupied by Dante's father. It's gotta be Dante's. Okay, whatever. The news of the arrival of the Pharaon had not yet reached the old man, who, mounted on a chair like a deer, was amusing himself by training with trembling hand the nasturtiums. It's got to be a plant.
I guess so. That's some vocabulary there. I've never heard that word.
It's got to be a plant. Yeah, by training with trembling hand the nasturtiums and sprays of clematis that clambered over the trellis at his window.
Definitely plants, yeah.
Suddenly, he felt an arm thrown around his body, and a well-known voice behind him exclaimed, "Father, dear father!"
Okay, so you're out. Accents, you're out.
I don't know. I'm playing it. Just flip-flopping.
Let's try without this one.
Okay.
The old man uttered a cry and turned around. Then, seeing his son, he fell into his arms, pale and trembling. "What ails you, my dearest father? Are you ill?" inquired the young man, much alarmed. No. I'm going to still do a voice for him, though.
This is your Dumbledore voice.
I know. No, my dear Edmund, my boy, my son. No, but I did not expect you. And joy, the surprise of seeing you so suddenly. Ah, I feel as if I were going to die. And then he dies.
I think he's like, get...
my heart! All right. Come, cheer up, my dear father. I'm not going to make him British. What am I doing? Come, cheer up, my dear father. 'Tis I, really I. They say joy never hurts, and so I came to you without any warning. Come now, do smile, instead of looking at me so solemnly. Here I am back again, and we are going to be happy. Yes, my boy, so we will, replied the old man. But how shall we be happy? Shall you never leave me again? Come, tell me all the good fortune that has befallen you.
Is he living alone?
I think we're talking about an old man who was taking care of some plants. He, like they were mentioning in the previous chapter, he doesn't go out for much. So I think periodically maybe he gets some Uber Eats. Maybe he's like staying inside, just like, what is it? The
he's gonna survive.
Social distancing.
Yeah, he's
like washing his hands a lot. Yeah, it's a little topical right there. So what? Tell me all the good fortune that has befallen you. God forgive me, said the young man, for rejoicing at happiness derived from the misery of others. But I killed a man. But heaven knows I did not seek this good fortune. It has happened, and I really cannot pretend to lament it. The good Captain Leclerc is dead, father, and it is probable that, with the aid of Monsieur Morel, I shall have his place. Oh, okay, so that's why he's happy. I got the promotion! Or I'm gonna get a promotion.
Got the part.
Do you understand, father? Only imagine me a captain at 20 with 100 louis pay. I'm guessing that's dollars. Or like that's a unit of currency. And a share in the profits. This guy has not signed anything. He's talking big, but like this is definitely not guaranteed just yet, but alright.
First job out of college.
Seriously. Is this not more than a poor sailor like me could have hoped for? Yes, my dear boy, replied the old man. It is very fortunate. Well then, with the first money I touch, I mean you to have a small house with a garden in which to plant clematis, nasturtiums, and honeysuckle. But what ails you, father? Are you not well?
Corona.
He might have corona. 'Tis nothing, nothing. It will soon pass away. And as he said so, the old man's strength failed him. And he fell backwards.
Oh, God. This guy, Don keeps killing people.
Yeah. Come, come, said the young man. A glass of wine, father, will revive you. Where do you keep your wine? I'm in a celebrating mood. It doesn't matter that you just collapsed. Where's your wine? No, no, thanks. You need not look for it. I do not want it, said the old man. Yes, yes, father, tell me where it is. And he opened 2 or 3 cupboards. He does not care about his dad at all.
No.
He wants wine to celebrate this promotion. It is no use, said the old man. There is no wine. What? No wine? Said Don, turning pale and looking alternately at the hollow cheeks of the old man and the empty cupboards. What? No wine? Have you wanted money, father?
Are we going back?
No, I just wanted to say that with no wine. What? No wine, kid. Quoi? Pourquoi?
Sound like a
Mon
very
père.
peak French. No wine.
No wine. How do you say what? Vino? What's wine in French?
Vin.
Vin. Pas de vin. How do you say no wine?
Yeah, pas de vin. Yeah.
Père, pas de vin. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Pas quoi? Mais non.
Je suis mort.
Je suis le mort. Mal à la tête.
And then, tant pis.
Tant pis. Okay. I want nothing now that I have you, said the old man. Do you want to take over?
Sure.
Okay.
Yet, stammered Daunt, wiping the perspiration from his brow, yet I gave you 200 francs when I left 3 months ago. Yes, yes, Edmund, that is true. I spent it all gambling. That's not what he said. That is true, but you forgot at that time a little debt to our neighbor, Caderousse. He reminded me of it, telling me if I did not pay for you, he would be paid by Monsieur Morel. And so, you see, lest he might do you an injury, well, why, I paid him. But, cried Daunt, it was 140 francs I owed Caderousse. Yes, stammered the old man, and you paid him out of the 200 francs I left you. The old man nodded. So that you have lived for 3 months on 60 francs, muttered Edmund.
Thrifty.
Yeah. You know how little I require, said the old man. Heaven pardon me, cried Edmund, falling on his knees before his father. What are you doing? You have wounded me to the heart. Never mind it, for I see you once more, said the old man. And now it's all over. Everything is all right again.
Here's the graphic here. We got young Edmund. We got his dad here.
He's got like a mullet, but with no
losing
no
it
party.
on top.
No, is it business in the front, party in the back?
Business on the sides. I have no idea. Definitely a party in the back.
Well, with this guy. Yeah.
With this guy, and for a guy who's been living on 60 francs for 3 months, it looks pretty snappy. But I think everyone did back then. This is like Victorian, even French. With like, I know they didn't have Victoria, but like everyone was pretty snappy back then.
And like he's not running he's not doing anything that's gonna.
He was taking care of plants, but like
dirty.
This looks like what I would wear to a wedding, and he was like, this is like, we're talking about a guy who was just taking care of plants.
It's almost like Ron Weasley's Quidditch ball outfit.
Yeah.
Like it's a little frilly.
Yeah.
It's a little frilly. Okay. Yes, here I am, said the young man, with a promising future and a little money. Here, father, here, he said. Take this, take it, and send for something immediately. And he emptied his pockets on the table, the contents consisting of a dozen gold pieces, 5 or 6 5-franc pieces, and some smaller coin. The countenance of old Daunt brightened. Is that his dad's name?
I think that's what they're going to call him, Old Daunt.
Don Jr.?
Maybe. I mean, like, the older, Daunt Elder, I guess.
Okay.
His dad, yeah.
Whom does this belong to? He inquired. To me, to you, to us. Take it, buy some provisions. Be happy, and tomorrow we shall have more. Gently, gently, said the old man with a smile, and by your leave I will use your purse moderately, for they would say, if they saw me buy too many things at a time, that I had been obliged to await your return in order to be able to purchase them.
A little bit of pride there.
Yeah. Do as you please, but first of all, pray have a servant, father. I will not have you left alone so long.
Wow, what a step. Like, I'm living on what sounds like $60 for 3 months
Yeah.
to let's get you a maid. Let's get you a servant.
Servant.
I don't know.
How much are you paying the servant? Like, probably nothing.
That's all right. What a hop. All right.
I have some smuggled coffee and most capital tobacco.
Most capital.
Capital tobacco.
Oh, it's most capital.
Most capital.
Most capital.
Most capital.
Muh.
In a small chest in the hold, which you shall have tomorrow. But hush, here comes somebody.
Okay. 'Tis Caderousse, who has heard of your arrival, and no doubt comes to congratulate you on your fortunate return. Ah, lips that say one thing while the heart thinks another, murmured Edmund. This is the neighbor, right, that he owed the money to?
Yeah.
Okay. But never mind, he is a neighbor who has done us a service on a time, so he's welcome. As Edmund paused, the black and bearded head of Caderousse appeared at the door. He was a man of 25 or 6 and held a piece of cloth, which, being a tailor, he was about to make into a coat lining. Marseillais. I'm not gonna give him a Marseillais accent. I'm gonna do Peter Falk. It's my favorite. I'm gonna do Peter Falk.
So hard for me. Okay, go.
What is it, you Edmonton? Well, Edmonton. What is it, you Edmund? Back again? I don't know if that's Peter Falk. Ultramatic bed. That's my entrance to Peter Falk.
It's not a.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. What is it, you Edmund? Back again? Said he with a broad Marseillais accent and a grin that displayed his ivory white teeth. Yes, as you see, neighbor Caderousse, and ready to be agreeable to you in any and every way, replied Daunt. Wow. Just on it, like belly up, just here's my soft belly. But
Like,
ill
whatever you
concealing
need.
his coldness under this cloak of civility. So he's like, yeah, whatever you want.
So
Like
it's
a little
some
bit,
some
little
mean
cold
girls,
there, yeah.
A little bit of a mean girl situation.
Yeah, a little two-faced
He's
in
like,
there.
yeah, whatever you want.
Whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah, shiv
Okay.
in the back pocket.
Excuse me. Thanks, but fortunately, I do not want for anything. Any chances that at times there are others who have need of me.
Daunt made a gesture.
I do not allude to you, my boy. No, I lent you money, and you returned it. That's like good neighbors, and we are quits.
We are never quits with those who oblige us, was Daunt's reply. For when we do not owe them money, we owe them gratitude.
Oh my god.
Wow, pontificating.
What's the use of mentioning that? What is done is done. Let us talk of your happy return, my boy. I had gone on the quay to match a piece of mulberry cloth, and when I met friend Danglars,
Of course he's friends with Danglars.
you at Marseille. Yes, says he.
What?
I think he's
You at Marseille?
imitate Danglars.
Oh,
Yes.
says he. So I'm gonna have Caderousse imitating Danglars. Okay. Here we go.
I thought you were at Smyrna. I was, but I'm now back again.
Scintillating conversation.
And where is the dear boy, our dear little Edmund? Why, with his father, no doubt, replied Danglars, and so I came, added Caderousse, as fast as I could to have the pleasure of shaking hands with a friend.
So this is Caderousse. Does not match the
He's
accent at all.
He's a wolf man.
Gerald, one of my colleagues says Daunt rhymes with princess.
Dantes.
Dantes, princess, Dentis. So like princess?
No, Dantes.
Dantes, Dantes. Okay, Dantes. All right,
Dantes.
thank you. We're gonna switch to Dantes. Thank you for that feedback. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Dantes.
He didn't say whether he was enjoying
Well,
it.
he didn't say he's watching it. It could be he's perceiving it as
Yeah.
a train wreck. We'll see. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Well, so he came as fast as he could. So this is Caderousse He's got some bottles here.
He's like a soccer player. He's got good quads.
Yeah, nice, solid quads. This guy squats, but he also might be some kind of, I don't know, he kind of looks like a blacksmith, or I don't know, like this kind of looks like a working class vest. Like if you look at the dad, this is like fancy guy. I don't work with my hands. This is a guy, even though he's like doing plants.
You're right.
This guy looks like he does like physical labor. I don't know if that's true, but that's my impression based on what I'm seeing here. Yeah. It's still really fancy. Look at that popped collar. That's next level. I'm gonna pop my collar
to be like Cataroos.
Just to be like Cataroos.
I like his name, Cataroos.
Cataroos. All right, here we go. You want to take it?
2 inside, sure. Worthy Cataroos, said the old man. He is so much attached to us. Now I'm gonna have to do your thing, and I can't do it. I'll try. Okay. Yes, to be. I can't. Okay.
Peter Falk gets you again. You can bail out.
Excuse me. Yeah. Yes, to be sure. To be sure, I am. I love and esteem you because honest folks are so rare. Going poorly.
It's okay.
But it seems you have come back rich, my boy, continued the tailor.
Oh, he's a tailor. That's what he is. Yes, he does work with his hands, but it's not like he's doing heavy lifting, really, unless he's lifting fabric.
Well, he's probably getting greasy.
He's getting greasy, yeah.
Continued the tailor, looking askance at the handful of gold and silver which Dantes had thrown on the table. Hope I'm saying that right. Okay. The young man remarked the greedy glance which shone in the dark eyes of his neighbor. He said
negligently. He said, knocking over a vase negligently.
This money's not mine. I was expressing to my father my fears that he had wanted many things in my absence, and to convince me, he emptied his purse on the table. Come, father, added Dantes, put this money back in your box, unless neighbor Cataroos wants anything, and in that case, it is at his service.
Would you like more money?
Do you want some money?
Like some coinage?
No, my boy, no, said Cataroos. I'm not...
Excuse me.
I'm not in any want. I hate you. Thank God. My living is suited to my means. Keep your money. Keep it, I say. One never has too much. But at the same time, my boy, I am as obliged by your offer as if I took advantage of it. It was offered with goodwill, said Dantes. No doubt, my boy, no doubt. Well, you stand well with Monsieur Morel, I hear. You insinuating dog, you.
You got that promotion? He's like doing this like, you.
Oh, you.
Oh, you.
Monsieur Morel has always been exceedingly kind to me, replied Dantes. Then you were wrong to refuse to dine with him. What? Did you refuse to dine with him? Said old Dantes. And did he invite you to dine? Yes, my dear father, replied Edmund, smiling at his father's astonishment at the excessive honor paid to his son. And why did you refuse, my son? Inquired the old man. That I might the sooner see you again, my dear father, replied the young man. I was most anxious to see you. But it must have I can't. Take over.
Okay.
But it must have vexed Monsieur Morel. Good, worthy man, said Cataroos. Excuse me, and when you are looking forward to be captain, it was wrong to annoy the owner.
But I explained to him the cause of my refusal, replied Dante, and I hope Dantes, thank you, and I hope he fully understood it.
Yes, but to be captain, one must do a little flattery to one's patrons.
I hope to be captain without that, said Dantes. Ooh, this kid wants to avoid the politics.
So much the better, so much the better. Nothing will give greater pleasure to all your old friends, and I know one down there behind the St. Nicholas Citadel who will not be sorry to hear it.
Without doing flattery. Okay, I don't know what this means. Oh, Mercedes? I want to be captain without being a flatterer.
So much the better. So everyone will be happy to know that you haven't become like a flatterer.
Okay. Mercedes? Said the old man. Yes, my dear father, and with...
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird that he kind of just took over the conversation there. Yes, my dear father, and with your permission, now I have seen you and know you are well and have all you require, I'll ask your consent to go and pay a visit to the Catalans.
See you
See you never.
See you never, Dad.
See you in another 3 months, Dad. Daddy-o. Go, my dear boy, said old Dantes, and heaven bless you and your wife. Oof.
That's
words.
quite a saying. Bless you and your wife.
Yeah. As it has blessed me and my son. Oof.
His wife?
Said Caderousse.
Why, how fast you go on, Father Dantes. She is not his wife yet, as it seems to me.
Does he want in there?
I don't know.
Good lord.
No, but according to all probability, she soon will be, replied Edmund.
Yes, said Caderousse, but you are right to return as soon as possible, my boy.
And why?
Because Mercedes is a very fine girl, and fine girls never lack followers on Instagram. She particularly has them by dozens. Hundreds of thousands of followers on the gram.
Really, answered Edmund, with a smile which had in it traces of slight uneasiness. Really? This is not what you want to hear when you come back, I guess.
No.
So this is Dantes's father, looking even more just kind of disheveled. He kind of looks like
the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
Tales from
the Crypt.
Keeper. Yeah.
He looks really sort of like a gust of wind would knock him right over.
Yeah, but he also looks a little like those he kind of looks like a sexy anime guy, that kind of androgynous, the long hair, kind of feminine.
Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about. Could be a glam rocker.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we've got 2 more sections and then we're gonna call it. Let's do this. You want to take over?
Sure. Ah, yes, continued Caderousse, and capital offers too.
Capital!
But you know, you will be captain, and who could refuse you then? Meaning to say, replied Dantes, with a smile which but ill concealed his trouble, that if I were not a captain, he's basically saying that he's got a butterface.
It's like,
were you not a captain, I think you might have a problem here.
I don't think anyone would touch you if you weren't a captain.
But you just so happen to get a promotion.
Yeah. Said Caderousse, shaking his head. Is the sailor Dantes?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
this is Dantes.
All right.
Young Dantes.
Come, said the sailor. I have a better opinion than you of women in general. That's nice. And of Mercedes in particular. And I am certain that, captain or not, she will remain ever faithful to me. So much the better, said Caderousse. When one is going to be married, there's nothing like implicit confidence. But never mind that, my boy. Go and announce your arrival, and let her know all your hopes and prospects. I will go directly, was Edmund's reply, to her DM. And embracing his father and nodding to Caderousse, he left the apartment. Caderousse lingered for a moment, then taking leave of old Dantes, he went downstairs to rejoin Danglars, who awaited him at the corner of Rue Senac.
Whoa. So these two are hanging out.
This was a plan.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had heard earlier that Caderousse had stopped by the dock, I guess, and talked to Danglars,
we knew they were
but
buds.
Danglars just been like hanging out downstairs. All right.
Well, said Danglars, did you see him? I have just left him. I can't. Answered Caderousse. Did he allude to his hope of being captain? He spoke of it as a thing already decided. Indeed, said Danglars. He is in too much hurry, it appears to me. Why, it seems Monsieur Morel has promised him the thing, so that he is quite elated about it. Why, yes. He is actually insolent over the matter, has already offered me his patronage as if he were a grand personage?
I think so.
And proffered me a loan of money as though he were a banker. This is so Mean Girls.
Yeah.
I'm like,
this is really
shocked
catty.
Yes,
These
so
people are
catty.
super catty.
So catty.
But I think they're trying to set him up for something. This feels like a setup.
Funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Which you refused? Most assuredly. Although I might easily have accepted it, for it was I who put it into his hands, the first silver he ever earned. But now Monsieur Dantes has no longer any occasion for assistance. He is about to become a captain. Pooh, said Danglars, he is not one yet. Ma foi, it will be as well as if he is not. Wait, it will be as well if he is not, answered Caderousse. For if he should be, there will be really no speaking to him.
Oh, he's going to be like too
high up.
Too high up there and thinking too much of himself.
If we choose, replied Danglars, he will remain what he is, and perhaps become even less than he is. What do you mean? Nothing.
Nothing, no. Just think out loud.
Nothing. I was speaking to myself. And is he still in love with the Catalan? Over head and ears, but unless I'm much mistaken, there will be a storm in that quarter.
Ooh, okay, so quickly, so these two are like, there's like this conspiracy that's starting to form.
They're trying to like connive together.
I don't exactly know why. Danglars just seems like a bit of a dick, and he does not like Dantes. Caderousse, I don't know what the deal is. I think Caderousse doesn't like the fact that Dantes seems all high and mighty, that, oh, you're a captain now, you don't need me anymore.
There's like no real reason why they're...
Big man on campus, oh, look at Dantes, oh, he's a captain, oh, just lending out money.
But like, why does he care?
I don't know.
Just because he's buddies with Danglars?
I guess.
There must be more to it.
Alright.
Okay. And then a little salacious...
Explain yourself.
Oh yeah, here's a salacious pic. I don't know what's going on here. We got, I'm presuming that's Dantes, Edmond Dantes, and this is Mercedes. I don't know who this is. I don't know if Edmond... What is he doing in there?
He's like, meh.
Meh. What's he doing in here? Because this is inside. How is he in there?
I don't know.
Is it Danglars? We'll see.
He's being like the invisible man, like he's just creeping about.
He's just creeping. And like, look, he's like, his fingers are scratching into this table.
Yeah, he's a creep.
Oh, you probably can't see because our heads are in the way, but like, his fingers are scratching into this table. Very interesting. Okay. He looks mad. Okay.
Explain yourself. Why should I? It is more important than you think, perhaps. You do not like Dantes? No. I never like upstarts. Then tell me all you know about the Catalan. I know nothing for certain, only I have seen things which induce me to believe, as I told you, that the future captain will find some annoyance in the vicinity of the Ville infirmaries.
Uh-oh. The VA infirmaries. My apologies. Mon français, c'est très pas mal. Oh, no, très mal.
Yeah.
Pas bien. So,
the old...
Yeah, this is like... I don't know. I know nothing for certain. I don't know. I'm just saying that when he goes and sees her, he's going to find something annoying going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen? Come tell me. Well, every time I've seen Mercedes come into the city, she has been accompanied by a tall, strapping, black-eyed Catalan with a red complexion, brown skin, and fierce air, whom she calls cousin.
Why does he think that... Okay, is this Alabama? I think this is Alabama.
It is the late 1800s. I don't know. Who knows what's going on here? Cousin. Maybe cousin's being used super loosely.
She called him cousin and it means they're lovers. Maybe it's just like they're being very familiar.
Super familiar, yeah.
Really? And you think this cousin pays our attentions? Excuse me. I only suppose so. What else can a strapping chap of 21 mean with a fine wench of 17?
Oh my god.
Damn.
And you say that Dantes has gone to the Catalan? Excuse me. He went before I came down. Let us go the same way. We'll stop at La Réserve and we can drink a glass of Le Margue whilst we wait for news.
Come along, said Caderousse.
But you pay the score.
Of course, replied Danglars, and going quickly to the designated place, they called for a bottle of wine and 2 glasses. Père Pamphile, I don't know who that is, had seen Dantes pass not 10 minutes before. Oh, I guess this is like the local priest. Had seen Dantes pass not 10 minutes before and assured that he was at the Catalans. They sat down under the budding foliage of the planes and sycamores, in the branches of which the birds were singing their welcome to one of the first days of spring. Wow, lots going on there. Let's see if we can unpack just a little bit. Quick summary. Goes to see his dad.
Goes to see his dad.
His dad, like, bit of a shut-in.
Yeah, but
Taking
feels like a responsibility to pay off debts,
which
is nice, but also doesn't know how to handle money because he left himself $60 for like 3 months.
I guess so. Like before he left, his son left him 300 francs,
It was
I
like
think.
200, I think.
200 some odd francs. The dad had to pay off like 100 some odd franc loan to this neighbor, Caderousse, and that debt was paid off, and so there's only $60 left over for 3 months.
Yeah.
And then
And
so
Dantes was like, Dad,
what? How are you even paying rent? What are you eating? Are you eating your own plants? Like, what's happening
I
here?
think so.
So comes back, his dad's super ill, but he's proud to see him. Dantes is like, let's have wine, I might be a captain someday. Really not, like, he's a little bit concerned with the health of his father, but he
doesn't really
like
care.
didn't like care about what was going on.
No.
Not really.
He's
anyways.
20.
He's
not...
20. He's got his eye on the prize, which in this case is a promotion and Mercedes. And then the neighbor comes up.
Yeah.
This Caderousse.
Spy.
The spy? Is he a
Yeah,
spy? You think
He's a spy. He's a spy for Danglars.
Oh yeah, because he had met Danglars on the dock or something.
Yeah, Danglars was like, go in there and see if you can get more gossip.
Okay.
And Caderousse was like, I came as soon as I could when I heard you were here because I'm a good neighbor, but I'm really a spy.
Right. And then Dantes is like throwing money around. He's like, "You want some money, Caderousse? You want some money? Boom!" You know, he's like flashing.
Yeah.
He's making it rain in there.
Yeah.
And Caderousse is like, "Oh,
He's
this
like, oh, that's so generous.
that's so generous." But inside everyone's
he's
so
like,
two-faced.
So two-faced.
Yeah. Inside he's like, "This little upstart, you little shit." You know, like who do you think you are? You are nothing.
Yeah, everyone is very concerned about money and what that looks like.
Yeah. And so, Dantes leaves to go see Mercedes. And then,
Oh, yeah, because Caderousse is like, I don't know. Seen her around town. She's got all these followers and likes and stuff.
And Dantes is like, oh, I gotta go. And, like, heads out to go see Mercedes ASAP.
Even though he didn't really seem all that enthused about her in chapter 1.
No, he did not.
He was like, yeah, she's fine.
She's alright. It's okay.
She's okay.
She's alright.
Captain, though.
Mistress, nah. Wife, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
And then Caderousse and Danglars are, like, gossiping. And they're,
Yeah.
like, conspiring against Dantes to say, like, I don't know, let's make him not the captain. He'd be super annoying as a captain.
Yeah. We can bring his station
Let's
down.
bring him down.
Even lower, yeah.
Because we're being really catty and petty.
But
we're going to bring him down.
It doesn't really seem like... Because if Dantes wasn't the captain, would it be Danglars? Like, is he
I don't
hoping
think
to...
so. No, I don't think he's like second mate or anything. He's not even like a ship. I don't think he's got like skills to crew a ship.
Yeah,
He's like the
is it
guy
just
with the
It's
manifest.
just like
I
a
think.
personal vendetta.
Maybe more will be revealed.
Maybe more will be revealed.
Maybe some secret history there or secret agendas or something.
There's a backstory we're missing.
There probably, yeah. But anyways, Danglars and Caderousse are now sipping some wine and like they're gonna wait for news because Dantes has gone to the Catalans.
Yeah.
Caderousse thinks, oh, he's gonna find out about the cousin. There's this dude she's hanging around with, and it's like it's gonna be a really awkward
The
scene
cousin.
for multiple reasons, super awkward. And I don't know how it's gonna turn out. Let's wait for news. I'm gonna sit here and wait for news. So they go to a bar and they drink some wine.
So catty.
And that's where Dantes went. He went to the Catalans to go see Mercedes, and presumably that's what Chapter 3 is all about. So that's it. That's our first reading so far of the Count of Monte Cristo. We're 2 chapters in. Do you have anything you want to say about what we've read so far? Any impressions?
I think our accents need work.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we need to have a glass of water here while we do this. A lot of dialogue.
There's a ton of dialogue.
Not
in this
much
story.
exposition, which
No.
I'm surprised about. But it seems like it's all relationship based.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
And even when you're in the exposition, it's like extremely detailed exposition. Like you could really. I think it's told in the old style, which was extremely verbose exposition.
Yeah, but it's almost like a play.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's almost like yeah.
You could probably. It was probably staged as a play at one time. I'll bet you it's been staged.
Yeah, for sure. What's your thoughts?
Like so far so good. It feels like an older story where there's not a hook yet. Like newer stories that
it's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn. It's like classic old school. It's what you'll find on Gutenberg for free, which is old school stories where it's a slow burn. It's going to take a couple of chapters to kind of like get involved in the plot. Right now I'm not like super invested in the plot. I don't like super I presume we're going to be following Danglars or sorry, not Danglars, Dantes. I presume that he is the protagonist, but I don't actually know.
Yeah, he's definitely
but so
the
far,
protagonist.
I think we're going to be following him.
I kind of want.
I think he's only okay as a person.
He's only alright.
Yeah.
He's not colored in very much.
Yeah.
I want to see what Mercedes is like, because everyone has a lot of stuff to say about Mercedes.
Yeah.
I hope she's a badass.
We'll see. I think chapter 3, maybe that will kind of like help solidify Dantes's character a little bit more, and we'll get a better sense of who he is, who Mercedes is, and what's going on. Like once this, like maybe this cousin will get brought up in chapter 3, and that's like, maybe we'll get to see how Dantes and Mercedes reconcile and grapple with this drama.
Yeah.
And I don't know when that's going to happen. This is our first time doing this. We're not doing it necessarily on a regular schedule. I think it's like when we're bored, we'll record one of these. I'll probably tweet about it on the day that we're going to do it. We're going to be posting them all on YouTube, unedited. It's rough edges. I don't want to make this into like a big production. But let us know what you thought in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, let us know in the comments. If you're watching this on Twitch, drop something in the Twitch chat because we're watching that. Thank you very much to Gerald, one of my colleagues that I work with, who helped us with our pronunciation of Dantes, because we were just absolutely butchering that name. So thank you very much.
Super butchering it. Thank you.
So thank you very much for your help there. Thanks, everyone. We're going to cap it here. Stay healthy. Keep washing your hands, and we'll see you soon.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe, Frodo.
Bye.